What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Revival. My name is JJ, and it's time to talk some E3 2021. Alright, so I'm not going to do anything like extravagant, or like, not that I typically do extravagant things on this channel, but I'm not going to like do the whole, maybe sometime in the future I'll do like, what do you call it, reactions to reveals and that kind of stuff. Like, I typically like to watch those things just on my own, that way I can soak it in a little bit more. So I just kind of am going to leave it at that. I watched everything and watched it again, and I am going to do a separate video on Square Enix that I'll put out next week. A, because there's a lot I want to say about it, and B, because I also want to play the Final Fantasy demo that came out on PS5 for a second time. I played it once. I will share my thoughts next week, but I want to play it one more time just so I'm sure. Beyond that, though, I figure I'll just kind of go down the list. And these are, I'm not going to go over every single thing that was announced, because it would just take way too long. These are just some of the high points for me personally that I saw that I was just like, yeah, that looked interesting. I would be interested in checking that out at some point. So, no particular order, just kind of like went off of the main ones that I'm going to cover is Ubisoft, Xbox, and Nintendo. And Ubisoft, really, there isn't even much there either. I'll be honest with you, this whole E3 it didn't blow me away at all. I think Microsoft and Nintendo did awesome. They did great. They really did. But like, usually after E3, I'm like pumped, I'm amped, I'm like so stoked for, what's to come and everything. And there's a couple things in here that had me like that, but like, there wasn't a whole lot of gameplay. I don't know if that's necessarily because it was all digital, and so it's just easier to just be like, oh, here's a video of, something to watch that we, put together beforehand, and not include gameplay in that, or what, but it didn't really like, why don't we just get down the list? So, Ubisoft, like I said, there's two games that really stuck out from their presentation, and that's, I guess three technically. And that is Avatar. Honestly, I know the Avatar movie series at this point, I guess, if you want to call it that, gets a lot of flack. I honestly really enjoyed the movie, and I'm super stoked for when the new ones come out, because I think it's interesting, and I think it looks really pretty, and I enjoyed it. So, and I think the game looks kind of neat. So, is it going to be a day one buy right now that I'm deciding? No, I have no idea. I need to know more about it, because there really wasn't much shown other than, hey, look, Avatar World. You guys remember this, right? And then there goes my cat. He just ran upstairs. I don't know. So I want to see more about it, more of it, but it looked really pretty. So, Mario and Rabbids 2. I'm super stoked for that game. I loved the first one. My main gripe with it is it's the same as the first game. Is I just don't understand why they chose Rabbids. Probably because Ubisoft, but they're the dumbest characters ever. Like, maybe not ever, but I mean, I just do not understand how anybody can enjoy these rabbits in any game whatsoever, whether it be Rayman or like, the Mario Rabbids game. They're just so dumb. I'm sorry. I'm super stoked for the game, and I'm excited to play it, check it out, because I like the strategy elements, I like the gameplay, and it's fun to see those colorful Mario characters come to life in a world like that. But those rabbits are just so annoying and just so dumb. Anybody else feel that way? Like, I'm sure somebody does out there, but anybody that's watching feel that way? Because I just, give me some confirmation I'm not alone in that. Anyway, so, and then Far Cry 6, obviously. We knew that was coming at some point. I think we actually heard about it a while ago, but to see a little bit more on it, and Giancarlo Esposito, like, I'm he's a fantastic actor, so I'm super stoked to play that game. I started with 3 in the series, and 3, 4, 5. I have not been disappointed yet. I really enjoyed all 3 of those games, so I cannot wait for this one. Really excited for it. Xbox. Okay, so Starfield. I mean, yeah, it looks cool, but I've also been playing Star Citizen. So it's kind of like, unless you got some gameplay that's gonna blow my mind, I mean, that video just didn't do it for me. It was just kind of like, oh, this is cool, this is neat, alright. And it's Bethesda, and it's Todd Howard promising this stuff. So there's a lot in there that just makes me go like, okay, yeah, you know, we'll see what it's like when it comes out. I don't know. I know a lot of people are stoked for it, and I'm happy for you, but just, like I said, for those reasons, I'm a little skeptical. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We need to see more. And I think that probably means it's not, you know, anywhere near coming out as a finished product. Because as we know, they tend to release stuff that is not complete when it's released. Halo Infinite, again, blew a lot of people away from what I saw online. But to me, it just looks like Halo. You know, not that that's a bad thing. Halo's, you know, popular for a reason. It's great. I think it's awesome that they're doing free multiplayer. I'm waiting for the catch on that. I'm waiting for them to just be like, oh, that's only for the first month, and it's only on weekends, and you have to be on an Xbox Series X or S. Like, I'm just waiting for this caveat to show up, because it sounds a little too good to be true. But then again, you know, Games Pass is a pretty amazing thing, and a lot of people are saying that's, you know, too good to be true, and it is what it is. There is a catch on there, which is why I don't subscribe to it, and that's the fact that you don't get to keep the games forever, which is annoying because I go through my backlog, so it takes me years sometimes to get to games. So if I subscribe to Game Pass with the, you know, desire to play one of these new games that came out, I may never get to unless I actually buy it down the line because I'm not going to get to it for a year or two, and it may be off the platform at that point. But nevertheless, Halo Infinite, I think there's a lot of cool ideas coming out of there, and I'm excited to play it. I'll pay for it anyways because I want to play the single player campaign. Sea of Thieves. I enjoy the hell out of Sea of Thieves. I really like it. I just don't have anybody to play it with, and playing that game solo is. But having Pirates of the Caribbean crossover with it, I think is really cool and totally appropriate. And you know, that game could use more story in it, and that sounds like it's going to be fun. To add that in there, so I'm super stoked to see what they do with that. I gotta say, Battlefield 2042 looks really cool. I'm not super, you know, crazy into shooters and all that stuff, but you know, every now and then one comes along where I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna pay full price for that. And Battlefield 2042, the fact that it said you can do, like, I'm big on like first-person shooters that have giant maps that allow you to play single player, so you can like go and explore stuff. I would prefer to do that on my own, which is why I was disappointed with the Star Wars games, the Battlefront games. So, because you couldn't really do that in a lot of cases. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm looking forward to Battlefield 2042. Diablo 2 Resurrected, we all knew that was coming. I'm actually considering getting that on console instead. I don't know if I'll get it on Xbox or, you know, PS5 or whatever, but I spent so much time with Diablo 2 when I was younger, and I love that game. I freaking adore it, and I definitely want to get it in some fashion. Obviously, I always played it on PC in the past, so I may go that route, but I don't know, there's just something about there's something about playing on your couch, but the way that Diablo 3 played on console, when I tried that for the first time, I was like, damn, this works really well. So if it works the same way, that's a good reason for me to go that route as well. So we'll see. If you're a Suikoden fan, you probably already know about Eiyuden Chronicle. I'm super excited to hear more about that, see more about it, and play it eventually. I backed it on Kickstarter. I am just super stoked for that game, and I cannot wait. And then, last but certainly not least for me, probably the game I'm looking forward to the most out of all of E3, and that is Forza Horizon 5. I loved Forza Horizon 3. I loved Forza Horizon 4, which I still hop into every now and then. I cannot wait. It looks amazing. It looks so good. And the ideas that they have with like player-created content, and they're bringing back the public stuff. And I have already talked to like several people who are like, yeah, I'm totally getting it. And like, that makes me so excited because I got the Forza Horizon series. Even if you're not a racing fan, I cannot recommend those games enough. Like, I'm not a racing game fan by any means, but I play those and I could just lose myself for hours. They're so good. I cannot wait for Forza Horizon 5. It's going to be awesome. Nintendo. Mario Party Superstars. I love the older Mario Party games, so I'm super stoked for that, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I will definitely be picking that up. Advance Wars 1 and 2. I recently got Advance Wars. I think... did I? Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I know I have it in some capacity. It might be just on my Wii U, and I'm thinking of a different game that I got recently on Game Boy. But I've always wanted to play it. I still haven't. And the fact that they're like remastering it and bringing out 1 and 2 and putting it on the Switch, I think is awesome. And I'm super excited because I've heard nothing but great things from people who have played it and love that series. So I'm really, really excited for it. Metroid Dread. I mean, I think everybody was kind of surprised, not disappointed. Well, I'm sure some people who were like obsessed with waiting for Metroid Prime 4 were disappointed, but like, I think some people were just kind of like, I didn't even realize they were working on a 2D Metroid game. That's weird. Which I think they did announce a while ago. They said, you know, we have an unnamed title for a 2D Metroid game that we're working on, and it was just kind of like an announcement just for 2 seconds and it was done. But like, I think it looks good. I'm not gonna be going out and getting the collector's edition and all that stuff. I'm sure it's probably sold out at this point, but there's a lot of people who are super excited for it, and you know what? I feel really bad for Metroid fans right now because it's been such a dry spell for such a long time, and it's just been remakes and like the sports one that they had on Game Boy, or 3DS, whatever it was. It's just kind of like, come on, Nintendo, you know you can do better than this, and so I'm really excited for them to at least be going back to their roots and giving the fans a little bit of something here, you know, while they wait for Metroid Prime 4. Astria Ascending is, honestly, I'd like to know a little bit more about it. The artwork looks beautiful. It's a turn-based RPG, obviously right up my alley, so super excited to see what that holds. And I don't know much about it other than just it looked pretty, and the gameplay looks right up my alley, so we'll see. And then Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater. A game that came out on the Wii U that it was digital only at the time. I wish I had picked it up and I didn't, but now I'm going to get the chance to check it out. This is a game that my friend Mark from the Frozen North and we have a lot of fond memories with Fatal Frame 2, just being up at the lake in Iowa and like Okoboji, and just being scared out of our minds trying to get through that game. And we got semi-far, I think, but we never finished it. I need to go back and finish it at some point. But it's just because of the nostalgia that I had with Fatal Frame from that time. And it is like genuinely creepy and super interesting, like the story they put together in those games. So I'm really, really excited for that as well. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that stuck out to me. Obviously, there's no Sony conference, so I would expect the next couple of months we'll see like a state of play or something. I'll be honest with you, though, I wouldn't expect much. The Sony state of plays have not been great since they started doing those. So I don't know. They were always really good when they got up on stage and did it. Well, not always, but lately they were pretty good when they got up on stage at E3 and did their whole presentation there. So ever since they went all digital, it was kind of like, at least for me. So let me know what you think. Anything that I didn't mention that you're looking forward to, something I may have forgotten, anything you agree with me on, or anything I mentioned that you're like, how could you be looking forward to that? It's stupid. Just tell me what you think. I want to talk to people. Let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, next week I will have plenty to say about Square Enix and their press conference, if you want to call it that. Yeah, we'll get there. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know the drill. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep on gaming.